What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. And this is Gray Area Anime. And we are... Oh, wait, I always forget. I got to tell y'all, it's the most wonderful podcast of your day. And we are back with another one. Kirby says... Hi. It's dangerous to go alone. So I choose you guys to come along with me on this wonderful anime journey that I enjoy so much. And I'm not alone. I've brought back the one, the only DJ Justinsane.
Hello. How's it going, my man?
It is going good. Let me fade this music out so that way they can hear us a little bit better. And that way y'all can hear all of the wonderful sounds like this. Because we're here to talk all things fall anime. But before we do that, there were a couple of interesting tidbits in the gamer / anime world. And so we're going to start with some news that we want to discuss. And then we'll get into all of the anime that you guys will be able to watch this fall season, or realistically, the anime we think you should watch. There's a long list on myanimelist.com of the fall 2022 anime, and we're just going to go through the highlights at some point. But before our highlights, there we go. But before we get to that, let's talk about what took the world over by storm yesterday, which is our first peek at the Mario Brothers movie done by Illumination.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy reaction from it right now. A couple of game streamers have been like, man, this is a wonderful looking movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the big news is Mario's voice acting, or lack thereof acting, as some would say. Chris Pratt voicing the legendary Mario, and I don't know, man. What do you think?
I think they should have let Chris Pratt be Chris Pratt, and like maybe you throw in the iconic voice every now and again, because I think the direction they kind of led him down, given the smallest clips we got of his voice, seemed to be like he's going for an Italian something or other, like in spots. But then in other spots, it seems like he's just himself. So I don't know. I think they should have kind of let him express himself. Because apparently the kids at my school were saying they had removed Chris Pratt or something. And I'm like, no, he's clearly right here and promoting. Though it was also very apparent that he knows not a lot about Mario and probably never really played it.
Yeah, when I watched it, I mean, it was it's definitely Chris Pratt's voice. I mean, a lot of headlines, it's just, a lot of people are saying, it's just Chris Pratt. That's it. I didn't mind it. I really didn't mind it. Because then I thought about it, because yes, Mario has a incredibly iconic voice, but we've only heard his voice saying short little things. Could you imagine Mario having a full dialogue in a movie? I just don't know if I could. I don't think it would sound good, and just me.
And it's new. Also, people are, and I think it's just either hate of Chris Pratt on certain levels, because there's no complaints with Jack Black, who his first speaking role sounded like he created a voice that is like, oh no, that's like iconically Bowser in terms of how he's sounding. and then it went more into who Jack Black is, which we still love.
I thought, and to be honest with you, like I knew Chris Pratt was voicing the movie. I kind of forgot the other cast when I was watching the trailer, and then I saw the lineup, and I forgot that that Jack Black was doing Bowser, and I thought when I saw Bowser, he looked like Jack Black. He had a very like that when Jack Black has that mischievous kind of angry face. He looked like Jack Black. I think he's going to do awesome. I think Seth Rogen's going to do awesome. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, which is great.
Yeah, like I was telling my wife when I heard Toad talk, because they pitched him up so much. If you have to just know Keegan-Michael Key's voice so distinctly, because he ends up sounding like himself. You just have to listen really hard. I thought that was cool. I mean, I think it's an Illumination movie. So what I think they're ultimately going to do is, in terms of like story, is I think they're gonna like kind of remake the original, is what it seems like. Like Mario ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom, but they're gonna make his base story a little bit more believable, because the way he came into the world, and because you can tell they're like skipping around scenes, because from the time that Toad talks to him to the next part where he's like, "Come on, Mario," like they haven't, as far as I know, introduced themselves to one another, because I'm almost positive this is like an origin they plan to do more kind of movie.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think the same thing. I really think also with this movie, there's been some commentary on this as well. Has been, you look at it, and there's celebrity after celebrity after celebrity voicing it, and that's been like the big deal since Aladdin, and and trying to get these big names to do it, and so. Am I surprised that Chris Pratt showed up and did Chris Pratt? No. Chris Pratt plays Chris Pratt in every movie. You can literally exchange him from Jurassic Park to Guardians of the Galaxy to
Parks and Rec,
Passengers, and it's like you're the same character, just more abs or less abs. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna enjoy it. So the big question. Online communities, online chatter about this. Are we going to have a Sonic the Hedgehog situation? Are we going to have it where people get so mad? Because some people have called, be like, "Hey, if we were able to bully them to fix Sonic, are the fans going to be able to push them into re-recording Mario altogether?"
Nope. It's too late in the process, because Nintendo don't play. Nintendo ain't Sega and that company. Nintendo, this 7 years. Like, y'all ain't bullying nothing when they got a release date of April.
Yeah,
April 7th.
Well, I mean,
at that.
But I mean, you look at what Paramount did with Sonic. I mean, they had a release date. They pushed that back. They put $5 million in to reanimate Sonic. I mean, I don't think they will. I don't see them doing it. I see them. I think there's enough mixed reaction to it that they're just going to go with it, and people are going to go see the movie. I'm going to go see the movie.
I'm definitely going to see the movie. Nintendo doesn't move because we want them to. That's like saying Game Freak will understand that they should make stuff and gear things towards us, the adults who still play Pokemon, and they inch towards that way, but they're always like, no, I would rather get a new person every year alongside you, because you're still going to buy it, fanatic, than to cater towards your needs in a certain way. Like, they already pushed this movie back in terms of telling us anything about it outside of the names and everything else. Like I said, 7 years of Nintendo knowing having their hand in the pot of wanting this to be how they want it to be, and present it in their light. So no, overall, I don't see them changing anything. The movie's going to come out. People are gonna like, the only thing I can foresee is people complaining about Chris Pratt, and that'll be it. Because nobody's gonna complain about any other character. Like,
No,
everybody loves Charlie Day, and Luigi doesn't, like, Mario and Luigi both don't talk really.
and that's where you're right. And I was thinking about that. That's where uh, they've gotten. It's kind of like we've never heard Mario speak. We've always had Mario's voice in our head. We've gotten little bits of what he is sounds like, and we just have kind of run with that. And that's I think we as a fan base are making our own stories. Um, I am, like you, curious about the story. I think it's going to be more taking elements of the games because there are some people that are like, "Where are penguins? Penguins aren't in the games, dude."
Did
Mario
you? I was just
64,
gonna say, did you never play Mario 64?
right?
Or
So,
even, I think also they might have made appearances somewhere in maybe Yoshi's Island or Yoshi's Island 2, or
well, and they hinted, they hinted on some
Luigi's Mansion.
mansion,
See, I thought the
Luigi's
same
mansion
thing.
element. Seth Rogen is playing Donkey Kong, so it's like they're gonna have these, these elements. Are we gonna have a giant floating hand? Is there gonna be a bigger bad in this movie, or again, where we're gonna have Smash Brothers elements? Are we gonna see some go kart racing, soccer playing, golfing? There's so much that can go with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look past Chris Pratt's voice. He's Chris Pratt. Cool, way to go, bro.
I think I honestly think he's gonna do great, because what he did in the Lego movie and what I think they're going with Mario, especially under Illumination and how they do their movies, you create the everyman character. Gru is an everyman character. He's just voiced by Steve Carell.
Yeah,
And Steve Carell also would have been like they literally could have just asked Steve Carell to do this, but that's neither here nor there. I think that a lot of what they're building towards is they're building towards like hopefully a multiversal kind of thing, like a world view, kind of. How can we expand the Mushroom Kingdom? How can we expand these characters and put them on a new plane of like MCU existence kind of thing, right? And
right.
we're gonna see if they're gonna make that Smash Brothers reference, if they're gonna make the Sonic reference, maybe that's a Paramount thing, but again, Nintendo still owns the rights, so maybe, like, we know we're gonna get as many Easter eggs as we can possibly handle, and it's gonna be crazy and all over the place. So hopefully, overall, I do think it's gonna be an amazing movie, and I do think that the voice acting is gonna be like the least of people's earnest complaints. They just want to
Yeah.
it's they're basically us Bleach fans back 10 years ago in 2012.
We're being toxic.
So,
We're yeah.
speaking of Bleach,
Speaking of Bleach, yes.
let's talk about Viz Media. On 8 days, 8 days. Like, you've had months of telling people where they need to be subscribing and going to watch this anime. And you wait until 8 days before to confirm that it's going to be on Hulu and Disney Plus for everybody else internationally. This is the dumbest shit I have ever seen from a company that does not seemingly understand just how powerful this comeback is going to be. And maybe they do understand and just think that they don't have to give us answers until 8 days before it came out is when they finally decided to say something.
I mean, we don't know what was going on in the background. Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm glad that it's going to be on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu in the U.S. Disney Plus everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's great that to know, because I mean there was some concern
Yeah.
that we weren't going to get a simulcast going on, um, and for them to wait. I mean, also kind of when they said that Disney acquired the rights to it, it's like, yeah, it's going to end up on Hulu. Like I wasn't worried about it. Um, I think that with, like you said, this comeback is huge. I think it has huge backing now, and so hopefully it's just going to be a wave that then we can continue the story on. Keep it going. Um, just be able to see the vision happen. I'm also curious because Disney has a bunch of anime in a vault. They have
Yeah.
a bunch and so is this going to be opening up? I was reading an article. They didn't mention any names because they said that Bleach is their biggest title that they have to go off of. So we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll see some more mainstream on some of our favorite shows or stories.
And there was also this. I'm just gonna deem it a rumor that Disney not had rights, but obviously Disney did the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, which I didn't know. I
I
had
didn't. I didn't.
it's because
I
it's
didn't.
on Disney Plus, I believe. Um, and there was this Dragon Ball like Disney show that people were like, I was doing all kinds of searching. I'm just like, nope, this is a rumor. This is not true. Disney is not doing some like new Dragon Ball generations where they are clearly like just saying Goku is now American and white and he's no longer a like it was this. You would have to look at it and see they're like trying to make a Cocomelon Dragon Ball Z is what it looked like to me.
I'm looking at it right, kind of like right now. I see I
Yes.
see a picture, and it looks like it's just been fan art that it's been
Yes.
it's been debunked. Um, so I
Oh, thank
does
God.
does Disney own the rights to Dragon Ball? Because I thought that with so Dragon Ball Evolution happened,
Yeah.
and
It's a thing
even
that happened.
even Toriyami was just like, "What the hell did you do? Like, this is just fucking wretched." Um, and I think that the studios have just stayed away from it, and so now like the film rights have reverted back. No one did anything with
Okay.
it. They didn't do like any type of crazy money grab like Fox did with Fantastic Four to keep them, but then Marvel ended up getting them anyway because
Oh man. Like we would riot if they tried that again. Like now that people would get somebody to change stuff on. Cause
yes.
that would be Morbius levels of stop trying to mess this up.
Yeah, I don't see a Dragon Ball movie, a live action Dragon Ball movie being tried again, just because the source material is so strongly guarded in the fan base. It would have to take an approach almost um, like Marvel. They would have to slow roll so much. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be like, the first movie would need to tell the Saiyan saga, and everybody would want to know where's the Super Saiyans. It's
Yep.
like we gotta wait till the second movie, and um, I think I would stay if I was a Hollywood bigwig. God help us all, but I would stay clear away from. I would stay away from Dragon Ball, and I wouldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
definitely.
cast Chris. I wouldn't cast Chris Pratt in
I don't know who I would cast, but I think I would like Netflix. I think has the best opportunity if they were to try and do something like that because of all of the One Piece, the Death Note debacle. Um,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
the Bleach movie was
The Bleach
the
movie was
Bleach
good.
movie was great.
I was just gonna say I talked all that shit, and then at the same time, I'm like, but then the Bleach movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the fact that they got Johnny Young Bush
Hmm.
to do the voiceover, which I probably just destroyed his name, but see, perfect. But yeah,
It's not a
I'm
bankai
su-
if it doesn't have the pause.
yeah, it has to have that pause. Has to.
But overall, I just to like wrap our Bleach conversation up, I'm hopeful that this move has a true purpose because the onslaught of fans that you're going to get because you're exclusive. It is not, it's not going two or three different places. It's not on Crunchyroll. It's not on High Dive. It's not, well, when Funimation was separate, it's not on Funimation. It's not going to be on Netflix. And I don't even know if they pulled Bleach from Netflix. They probably did, but I actually didn't check because that was like another place that I know that Bleach was alongside Naruto. Like some of the movies were on there. So if they're exclusively in one place, there's a lot of anime fans that hopefully already had Hulu. I mean, a lot of us already do because of Disney Plus and the Marvel movies and everything else. And if you get Disney Plus, there's no reason not to do the bundle, not to like promote for them, but
Right.
there's no reason not to do it. The only thing that I wouldn't do is do the whole ESPN Plus stuff. Don't care enough anymore about ESPN to like want to give them time and money. But you'll
Are we
get
getting Are we getting ad money from Hulu and Disney Plus just now? Like, are you okay? I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on anything.
no, not at all, not in the least. No. But when I do get sponsors, trust me, everyone that comes on will be getting paid because that's what I want to do.
I just want some free swag. I want some me undies. Give me some me undies.
Oh yeah, that would be a good brand deal. That or give me like the Manscaped 2.4.0, whichever one it's on. Like, give me all
Yeah.
that stuff. And if I get this Crunchyroll sponsorship at some point or Shonen Jump, sponsor me Shonen Jump. Anyway, before we get all the way off track,
We already have.
let's go now to the fall anime list, and we're gonna just talk about stuff that we're excited about, and we're gonna go one through one or one to one of what it is we're looking for. If you want to follow along with us, go to myanimelist.com. And if you go to top anime, seasonal anime, and then hit fall 2022, you'll be able to see where we're pulling from. So the first anime that we're going to talk about, which is the first on their list, which starts on Tuesday, it is Chainsaw Man. I have no complaints about the way these trailers have looked. The animation looks crisp. It looks like we're going to be in for a ride. I don't think they're going to skimp on the gore and the style that makes Chainsaw Man great. It's something that I wish would have been available for all of our favorites, Naruto, One Piece, and everything from the beginning. Now, granted, it was older technology. These shows have been out for 20 plus years. Naruto 20 years, I think like two yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. So the technology wasn't there, but like in the same way that we've done a Hunter x Hunter, like they went back and remastered and redid the animations. I wish they would do the same thing for Bleach and Naruto and One Piece because I think that to keep the consistency of the art to where Oda and Kubo and everybody wanted it to be is something I'm very happy about, and something that I know that you guys will see in Chainsaw Man, which is going to be one of your favorite animes that you didn't know about if you weren't reading the manga.
Yeah, I agree. The animation, the trailers have just been beautiful. Very very action packed, and it's been great. Um, and yeah, I really hope that they're able to translate the story to um, something that everybody can grab onto, because it is a very unique story. It's one that it has those elements that we expect in anime. We have the elements of a protagonist chasing after the girl. Um, I'm also definitely really curious, because I mean, like, I guess there's like a season two, a new arc in the manga
Mm-hmm.
that has really taken a whole new turn, and it's I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting, especially to see how this world of people living with the knowledge of demons, and dealing with them and everything is going to be. Especially after I watched and I'm currently trying to catch up on Blue Exorcist, and so it's just kind
Oh,
of
I
a
need to do
different,
that too.
yeah, it's kind of a different approach altogether from it. So definitely super excited about Chainsaw Man. I will definitely make sure also to be watching it when the kids aren't around, because it's,
It is. It is.
it,
This is one that you can't like. Your kids got to be a certain age before you introduce them to this one.
yeah.
But for those of you that don't know, just to give you a little rundown, because I do realize some of you may not know what Chainsaw Man is all about. So I'll read their little synopsis that they have on my anime list, which is Denji has a simple dream to live a happy and peaceful life, spending time with a girl he likes. This is a far cry from reality, however, as Denji is forced by the Yakuza into killing devils in order to pay off his crushing debts. Using his pet devil Puchita as a weapon, he is ready to do anything for a bit of cash. Unfortunately, he has outlived his usefulness and is murdered by a devil in contract with the Yakuza. However, in an unexpected turn of events, Puchita merges with Denji's dead body and grants him the powers of the Chainsaw Devil. And I feel like I should have just stopped at that first paragraph, because now I feel like I spoiled a little bit for you guys, but Denji is Chainsaw Man. I'm sorry, you would have found that out in the first episode anyway. But anyway, it's you're on a ride for gore and a lot of kind of a new age psychological thriller in a
Yeah.
sense.
No, you're very right.
It's very introspective, and everything that you see within Chainsaw Man, I think you kind of got to think about it as a metaphor for something. So be on the lookout for that. Next on the list is Spy and Family Part 2. Part 2.
I'm gonna be. I haven't followed any Spy Family
Oh.
at all. I've seen it. I've seen it come across the hey suggestion for me. I have seen the manga as well. So fill me in. Why should I watch it? Sell it to me.
Here's why you should watch Spy and Family. It is a spy thriller comedy that involves Lloyd Forger. Good God, now I can't remember anybody else's name because, of course, my brain freezes on the characters. But anyway, follow a spy, an assassin, and a telepath child who are a makeshift family trying to keep the world from going into World War III. You can tell that it's very metaphoric to like Germany and Nazis, and there's a whole thing going on there where you can see that there's like a forced kind of peace. It's a cute anime. It's not something that I think you like have to like know a lot about the manga to feel like you're gonna get this to get the anime. Stakes are in that way of there are stakes, but you know you're gonna have a good time. And that's what
Okay.
Spy and Family is. It's basically just a good time to where none of the family members know what the other does outside of the little girl because she's a telepath. She knows that her dad is, or her fake dad is a spy, and she knows that her fake mom is an assassin. They don't know that about one another. And there's a lot of things they kind of throw in there that are cool because one of the main characters, Lloyd, just wants to bring peace to the world, or have peace. You know, he doesn't want to see children crying in the streets in the middle of war times and things of that nature. So keeping everything above board is why you should watch Spy and Family Part 2. It's literally just continuing the first arc. There's not a lot of anime, or excuse me, there's not a lot of manga currently. So this one will probably only have maybe 10 episodes, 12 episodes at most. So we'll get about 3 months. We'll get the entire fall season of Spy and Family. And then it'll probably take like a year or so hiatus. But it is something you
Okay.
should check out.
I definitely will.
Next,
It's on the list.
on the list of shows that we think you guys should watch is Mob Psycho 3. Finally, from the creator who brought you such hits as One Punch Man. If you love One Punch Man, I guarantee you'll love Mob Psycho. And Mob Psycho 3, we're finally kind of getting more into what Mob wants. And it is the most kind of breaking out of your shell, trusting in yourself, being confident in yourself kind of anime. The style is beautiful. I've always said the way that they show emotional and mental turmoil and how that kind of grows. I mean, not gross, the word. Grows. It gives you basically what we all have. You never know how much of a percentage somebody is dealing with something or anything. You don't know what pet peeves set people off, and kind of seeing that in this series and how he navigates that and navigates not like snapping and when he does get mad and tries to protect people, it's like all warranted things, and I think it's going to be an amazing season.
Again, it's one that people have been telling me forever I needed to watch, and you know me. When people tell me I should do something, I tend to not want to do it right away, or kind of do my. So definitely, that's also been on the list to check out. And
did you do One Punch Man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love. Oh yeah.
So you just added in. Look, if nothing else, you have to connect. If nobody else got you there because of that, connect it because of that. That's why you should watch it. But check it out. It's about this kid that has basically telepathic powers that are on a whole nother level. And he had an instance when he was younger that caused him to try and suppress his powers. And therefore, when he's put in an anxious situations, he gets to 100%, which is why we call it Mob Psycho 100. Once he gets to 100% of stress or emotion or whatever, he goes ballistic and goes into full telepathic, like it's time to wreck shop mode. So just be on the lookout for that. That's something that I'm definitely going to be watching and discussing. Next on the list is My Hero Academia, the 6th season.
I've just been reading the manga.
Same.
I kind of it started getting kind of filler heavy for me, and I've been meaning to go back and watch minus the fillers. So, but I think from what I understand, like season 6 is getting closer to kind of the crescendo of this, so we should see some really awesome fights, some pretty dark storylines. It's going to kind of get really punch you in the gut on a couple of things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to season 6, and I'll definitely get caught up on the anime by skipping through the fillers.
I'm excited for this only because even if I just tune in for certain episodes, because I've been reading, I've been so far ahead, and I was watching alongside, but then I invited my wife to watch with me, and we're not through the Nighthawk arc, is what I'm going to call that. And you know why I call it the Nighthawk arc.
Yeah.
She does not. And so it's a whole like thing. And I was like, hey, if All Might like earnestly losing his powers made you feel emotional, you are not ready for next season.
Right.
Like if that's where it started. But I'm excited to see Dark Alone Deku.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty much thinking we're only going to get season 7 and 8. I think will be the last couple of things that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Next, of course, is Bleach, the 1,000-Year
Bleach.
Blood War arc and its return. Listen, there's nothing that I really have to tell you guys other than you should watch it. It's going to knock your socks off.
Absolutely, it's gonna be great. Animation's gonna look good. Story's gonna expand on the manga. We're gonna get some questions answered. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really super awesome.
I've been rewatching through the Hollow arc, and fake. I'm getting closer. Well, I'm probably like 30 or so episodes away from Fake Karakura Town, but I'm reading through the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, realizing that man, it's a fast read when you don't have to wait once a week.
Yeah, right.
And kind of like seeing the points of like, oh, this is gonna be really cool. And then it kind of made me realize why there are certain parts in this that disappointed me. So I'm going to go over those really quick just because of how important this is to me. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Skip at least 2 or 3 minutes or something like that. So here's what happened when I was reading. So how everything starts with the invasion. And after the invasion, we go into, recovery and going to the Soul Palace. Here's what we were reading. And I was sitting here and I was like, this is why me and Justin were upset. What Kubo did is he set us up with traditional story things, right? So you have Ichigo lose. He's obviously not able to beat the big bad. Initially, he's saved by something to where we're like, hold on, that's what the Quincy's do. That's a defense of the Quincy's. What's that about? And we could kind of tell when he asked him, like, you don't even know about yourself, my son. And then you're like, wait, what? So, we fast forward and now we're getting Everything But the Rain, which is the best flashback of ever. To kind of see or finally be able to see his mom and kind of see what was going on with her and realize, oh, his mom's a Quincy. And not only is she a Quincy, technically him and Ishida are cousins. That kind of goes under the radar and is unnoticed, right? Because Masaki and Ryu were cousins as far as I know, and they were supposed to like be marrying because he was a pure bloodline and she was pure as well, but not of one of the royal families or whatever. So I remember reading through that and reading through the whole flashback, and then you get to the point to where it's like now with Ishin telling Ichigo this was what happened on that day. The reason your mom died was because of this, and him getting confidence again way quicker than in the Fullbringer arc. He didn't stay in that place that long because what happened, I guess I'm missing one part, which, well, it doesn't matter. I'm leaving these parts out because y'all are going to watch it, but Justin knows what I'm talking about. So Then we fast forward. He goes back to the Soul Palace to get his Bankai. They all bow down. They all bow down to him. He picks his out, the one that's him. It's hollowified. It looks hollowified. Then he gets his dual Zangetsus. He has such a confidence. He knows who he is, and he makes it back to Soul Society. He does not get into any fights until the end of the series.
Yeah,
he does not use those dual Zangetsus until the literal end of the series, and we only get to see it for 3 seconds.
I mean, they literally go to Soul Society to turn around and go back to the Soul Palace.
And I'm reading that, and it just blew my mind. Because I was like, I remember how hyped we were. I'm like, oh, this is going to be crazy because we're going to get to see this in the next arc. He called, him and Urahara have a phone call, and he's like, hey, just hold out till I get there. Like, and it's like this whole moment. And then Kubo was like, you thought that things were going to kind of turn around. And in some ways they did, in certain fights that they did, we're again losing people. We lose. God, I can't think of the wolf guy's name, but we lose him.
Oh yeah,
to things that happen there and other parts, and it's just it's all coming together as a good story now that I'm reading it all together, but that is still kind of frustrating to have this moment of like that the when y'all see Ichigo get his new Zanpakuto, you're going to feel the same way. I don't see any other way that the fandom is going to feel, even with everything kind of painted out for us. And maybe Kubo throws in a fight or two or shows more functionality of the dual Zangetsus, because that's kind of really all we want. If you at least give me him using it or trying to figure out whatever beforehand, I'll be fine with that instead of waiting 50 episodes potentially for them to just kind of shit the bed. But
I don't think there's going to be any shit in the bed, because again, I think we caught Kubo at a time where the manga got canceled too early. They wanted to give it closure. I think that if they would have given it the same respect as Naruto received, that it would have had a much better ending. And it may have continued with something better than that's Boruto.
God, Boruto is trash.
Boruto's trash. So, well, those are top 5. What about some new ones off the list? Anything standing out to you new?
Next off the list is Blue Lock. And Blue Lock is after reflecting, I'm going to give you all guys a synopsis. After reflecting on the current state of Japanese soccer, the Japanese Football Association decides to hire the enigmatic and eccentric coach Jinpachi Ego to achieve their dream of winning the World Cup, believing that Japan has lacked an egotistic striker hungry for goals. He indicates Blue Lock, a prison-like facility where 300 talented strikers from high schools all over Japan are isolated and pitted against each other. The sole survivor of Blue Lock will earn the right to become the national team striker, and those who are defeated shall be banned from joining the team forever. What this feels like to me is soccer Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that.
I'm gonna skip it. I don't know. It's kind of like the King of Tennis. And,
Prince of Tennis.
Yeah, Prince of Tennis.
Yeah. I love that.
What there was I have a thing about tennis. Like I have a thing about racket sports.
Yeah.
I just don't like them. The cycling one I tried to get into.
Yawamushi pedal.
Yeah, I
enjoyed that. Dude, this is so bad.
I think I'm gonna skip it. I'll skip Blue Lock. One that I do want to try, it's on my try list, is right underneath it. Tensei Shitara Kinditsuta, which is
I got reincarnated. The time I got reincarnated as a sword or something like that, I think is the name of it. Give me 1 second. But I think with that, I was about to start that one. I do believe that it's on High Dive.
Okay.
So it's already out. It's got 12 episodes out. Yeah, Reincarnated as a Sword is the name of it. That's one that I think is probably going to be pretty cool.
I'm expecting it. Yeah. I'm expecting it to be goofy. I'm expecting it to have some silliness aspect to it. But I think it's gonna be interesting to see the main character as a sword. So I'm curious.
So we have that. Another thing on that's exclusive to High Dive that I think you all should check out that is already maybe done is your boy Kong Ming. And for any of you that are into Romance of the Kingdom or the Three Kingdoms and everything as they use that story so often, This is about Kong Ming, which was one of the strategists in that time. And he meets this girl who sings really well. He enjoys her singing so much that he wants to use her singing to bring about world peace. So he basically becomes a manager that is a million times smarter than everybody else. And so there's something endearing about it that I've enjoyed thus far about watching it. But it's one of the fall anime that are out now that I think you guys should check out. And I want to see if there's anything else on this list that I'm like, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw the new Mobile Suit Gundam out there.
That was gonna be my next one. That was the next one.
Yeah, the Witch of Mercury.
I hear the prologue is enough to just make you be like, "Yep, I need more."
I don't know. I saw the trailer. It looks like there may be an episode that's out. I'm not finding a whole lot of information on it. You know, Gundam has Gundam's a soft spot in my heart because it's one of the originals for me. Giant robots is where I like to land it. So we'll see how it goes. So I'll definitely be checking that one out.
Urusei Yatsura, which is like a remaster, retelling of like an older tale. And I can't remember all of the connections of who this person, of all of the mangas and or animes that has been provided by this author. But I think I'm going to check that out because when they try to get the animation styles correct, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like, especially between Full Metal Alchemist, which I enjoyed, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I enjoyed the glow up, if you will, in terms of their animation style. That was something that I was very excited about, and I think if I'm not mistaken, that might be all of the ones that I'm like just excited about. Let me make sure and check Crunchyroll and make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Another one that's kind of like on the list a bit that I think will be probably cool that I might check out are these two honorable mentions for me, which is Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, season 2. I watched a couple episodes of the first season. It's hilarious. It's just hilarious fan service is literally all it is. There are a lot of those. Some have good stories, i.e. Food Wars, which is another thing that was exclusive to Crunchyroll, but is now the fourth plate, which is the final season, which is on High Dive. I just want all of y'all to come together. Just let us watch our anime. And then the Ancient Magus Bride OAD 3 is another one that I think will probably be pretty interesting and give you enough that you will really, really love and enjoy it. That might be it for me in terms of the ones that I'm going to be talking to you guys about, making sure we keep you up to date about. I might get into To Your Eternity season 1 so I can watch season 2. Okay. Oh, I lied. The Tonikawa Over the Moon for You uniform special episode, I'm going to watch that because I watched the Tonikawa Over the Moon for You original or the first season. I still want a second season because this anime is amazing and really fun. But I also think I find it amazing because I'm married. And so as a married person watching things about married couples, at a certain age, it makes you kind of think about the younger years of being married and kind of the freshness of it and all of that. Same reason why we're always telling you guys to go watch Love is a Cocktail, because it's a 3-minute anime that gives you a cocktail at the end of it. If you like drinking, you get you a good recipe, and it's short enough that even the grumpiest of I don't like anime people, like, they can't get bored and they can't get like not with it in 3 minutes. And they're like, especially if you already go ahead and get the ingredients for whatever the recipe is, show them and then be like, hey, let's try this out. They're going to be there for you. And then it's going to be an event. But yeah, that is it from the fall anime. What do you think is your top 1, 2, and 3? I would say excluding Bleach, but it might not be your number one. So what are your 1, 2, and 3 of the fall?
I'm going to go ahead and say my number one's going to be Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Something new, something exciting. I'm all about that. Bleach will be a solid second, and then number 3 is going to be the Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch of Mercury.
I think for me, let's do this. 1 is obviously going to be Bleach. 2 is going to be Chainsaw Man, and 3 is going to be Mob Psycho 3.
Which I gotta watch. I will start watching.
I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's amazing. Season 2, I don't know how they found a way to exceed expectations for what it was they were setting up, but it is thoroughly enjoyable, and I know that they're going to keep everything going. And then I think honorable mentions for the list of things that I'm excited for in terms of what I'm going to be watching is probably going to be like Spy and Family and Blue Lock, because Blue Lock I think is going to at least fill the gap for me, because it's another soccer, it's another sports anime. Because I'm the sports anime guy, and I've always been the sports anime guy. I think even when we first started watching anime, I was huge on Ashio 21, which is one of my favorites. I was reading that manga, which they have not adapted. That was the amazing part, because they had a World Cup where they had to play against the world, and it was just an amazing kind of thing before they got to the final chapter. But anyway, I've really enjoyed that anime. Now that they got, like I said, they gave us 24 episodes, which is a whole new thing for anime watchers to me. Finally realizing how much or how long an anime stays in our life and how greedy we are. If the fact that Bleach has 50 episodes, that means from October of next week, excluding, if you exclude holidays and everything else, we're going to get a complete year's worth of Bleach.
Yeah.
And in my head, we go, that's not enough. Until you realize, how quick those weeks go by. It's really just the streaming stuff. But there's an exciting batch of anime out there for you guys. I hope that we helped you narrow down at least a little bit of what you want to watch. All these lists can be checked out. I'll put the My Anime List link in the description. And we're working towards something special to where you guys will be able to see the YouTube, or see the podcast on YouTube, on my YouTube channel as well, which is youtube.com/Icarus Gray. We're working up towards that. We just had some technical difficulties today because OBS wanted to be a little Boruto. I was expecting great things and it disappointed. So we're working up towards that, and working up towards a lot of other things. Still working on the album. You're going to be getting a video series of kind of my journal and or diary of working on the album. I tested some camera shots yesterday, and they're going to be really, really great in terms of what I'm going to bring forth to you guys. So thank you, Justin, for coming in and spending time with us.
Absolutely.
Like I told you
Thank
guys,
you for having me.
Justin will be back every other week. So we'll be doing our Bleach recaps. So we'll be doing episode 1 and 2 the next time that you see us. And then we'll be doing 2 episodes per, because when you get the episodes, we're recording with a week before the next episode comes out. Just because scheduling and everything else. But come with us, enjoy this ride. We'll do our best to explain themes and things that are kind of going on within the arc. So that way, if you want a little bit more information with this anime that you're watching, we'll be there to give it to you. Because obviously I'm reading, he's read, and we're well read. So until the next one, guys, we'll see you. A 1 and a 2 and a peace.